I don't know how to describe it. Oh my God, this is my baby right here. Okay. In my mindset, I still can't put this into words what this watch is to me, but I love it. I'm so surprised that I actually like this way more than the Apple Watch Ultra. I don't know what, maybe I changed my mind. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Ghouls Gaming and Tech channel. Now I'm excited to bring you guys my final review of the Galaxy Watch Ultra right here. Now this is my baby right here. This is my, oh my God, this is my baby right here. Okay, I did have the Galaxy Watch Ultra for about a week and a half now. I had the Apple Watch Ultra. I didn't get the second one, but I did experience the Apple Watch Ultra, and it was interesting for me to kind of see how this would hold up to at least my experience with the Apple Watch Ultra. Now, I must say, I'm so surprised that I actually like this way more than the Apple Watch Ultra. At first, I wasn't too big of a fan of the design. I like the design, don't get me wrong, but I was like, I kind of like Apple Watches or Apple's design a little bit better. I don't know what, maybe I changed my mind. I end up liking this version way more because it just, something about this watch, and I've been experiencing this feeling every time, something about this watch screams classic to me. It's super classic. Like, I feel like I can wear this with a suit, but I also can switch the bands out and get very sporty with it. I don't know, it's so hard to explain. This is gonna be a very interesting review. So before we get into this review, if you're new to the channel and you're gonna enjoy this content, I'm telling you, by the end of the video you're gonna appreciate this energy and this entertainment I'm bringing over here. Then hit that subscribe button, and if you're new or returning, make sure to hit that like button. It's the best way that I and YouTube knows you guys enjoy this kind of content. We're gonna take a deep dive into my weird altered review and my mindset. I still can't put this into words what this watch is to me, but I love it. Let's get into it. So as you guys know, or if you don't know, I do have the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Super great device. I really love it. You can only use the Galaxy Watch Ultra with another Galaxy device, unfortunately, but hey, it is what it is. First thing I want to touch on is the price. Now, the price is a big deal to me because I don't want to be spending so much money again. Again, my experience with the Apple Watch Ultra was that I had it, it looked cool, it felt great, it was awesome. And yes, I did pay the 800 bucks. Well, I didn't pay the full price. I didn't pay 800 bucks, but it was priced at 800 bucks. My conclusion at the end of that review was it was just, at least to me, to the user that I am, it was just not worth 800 bucks. That was a lot of money to spend on a smartwatch, which primarily all I did was check the time, you know, take a glance at my notifications, and, you know, track my workouts. Was that worth 800 bucks to me? No, it was not. But that wasn't a fault to the watch. That was more so the kind of user that I am. But I did like the design, so that's what pretty much prompted me to get the Apple Watch Ultra, but it just wasn't worth it for what I wanted out of my watch. Now, when it comes to this one, this is priced at $649.99 when it was originally launched. To me, it's already 150 bucks cheaper than an Apple Watch Ultra when that launched. And with trade-in deals, I end up getting this thing at 300 bucks. Like, it's kind of tough to beat that. I'm basically paying for a standard watch, but this one is the Ultra version. Like, I don't know, like, this, to me, that sounds like a deal. So this is one of the main things that kind of annoys me because it seems so simple, but this really bothers me when it comes to these smartwatches. I have tattoos on my left wrist right here. I'm right-handed. I primarily used to wear my watches on my left wrist, but since I have tattoos here, it messes with the sensors and all the readings, so I am forced by default to wear my smartwatches on my right wrist. I experienced that with the Apple Watch, and I thought it would be a little bit different with this Galaxy Watch Ultra. And to be honest, I experienced that with the Galaxy Watch 6 Pro, or whatever one I had. The tattoos, it affects the readings. So what I've noticed during my testing of this is that nothing's changed. If you have tattoos on your wrist, and primarily the wrist that you're wearing the watch, it is going to affect things like the compass, which it was all out of whack. I know my directions, north, south, east, and west. I know all that. I put the watch on and I noticed the compass on one of the watch faces was, the north was completely off. Second reason, the readings. You don't get proper heart rate reading. Now, usually it's inaccurate if I put it on my left wrist, but it still reads something. I've noticed with this watch, it didn't read it at all. I would check the heart rate thing on here, just say, hey, we can't get your heart rate. Sorry, brother. You just can't do it. But as soon as I put it on my right wrist, it read everything just fine. I say all that to say, I've gotten accustomed to wearing it on my right wrist now, and to me now it just feels normal. So it's a small, slightly compromised. All right, you guys, this segment of the video is sponsored by Microland. This is a transformable desk lamp with a swing arm. Now, when I tell you this thing is super useful, I use this on a day-to-day when I'm making these YouTube videos. Proper lighting is everything. And it is a desk lamp, but it is awesome for making videos. It has 7 rotating joints, high color rendering, automatic dimming, multiple lighting modes, power off memory function, and ultra wide lighting area. Like I said, these arms are super adjustable. You can change the lighting. You can reduce lighting, you can add lighting, whatever you want to do. The link will be in the description below. You can find this on Amazon.com for a super affordable price. So thanks again for sending this through. Back to the video. All right, so the next thing I wanted to test with this watch was how comfortable it was, how big it was on my wrist. On the display, when they showcased it, it looked and it appeared like it might be kind of big, but I've noticed that it is the perfect sizing for my wrist. It doesn't feel too clunky. Yes, it does feel a little thick or solid, but it's not like one of those big watches with a super big bezel that is annoying after a while. This is the perfect fit. It's super comfy. If you're worried about if it looks too big or it's going to be clunky, it's just fine. You won't notice any change in, how it fits or sits on your wrist. So another thing, I know you guys, you see this little crown around it, and it looks like a rotating bezel. It is not a rotating bezel. I didn't think I would be bothered by this as much because I don't prefer the rotating bezel. That's why usually when I got the smartwatch from Galaxy or from Samsung, I got the standard Galaxy watch. I didn't go with the classic because I didn't care about the rotating bezel. As weird as it sounds, I actually would have preferred if this was a rotating bezel. It just would have made the most sense because it's kind of weird putting your finger in here to rotate when you have a bezel here. It tricks your brain to make you think that this should rotate, but it doesn't rotate. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like this should rotate. Is it weird rotating with the touchscreen instead of the bezel? Yes, it is very weird. I wish this would just turn. This would make me so complete, but it just feels like it's missing something because it does not rotate. This is weird. So another thing about this watch is I love the new watch faces, and primarily this one I've pretty much been showcasing the whole time. It's so much information. It's super streamlined. And again, this is more so a part of why it feels like a classic type of watch that is very elegant, that you can wear it with maybe a suit, but also you can just switch the bands and get your workouts on, and it complements you because it has so much information for you to kind of keep track of all of your vitals and things like that. Speaking of the bands, I am a huge fan of these bands because yes, they are similar to the Apple Watch Ultra bands, but it's a little bit different. This band has a couple holes on it, and if you need to adjust for your wrist size, you just basically pull this component right here. So you pull this up and then you rotate it. So now you can pull this out, but you can pull this out and then literally put it on any hole on here to adjust for your wrist size. And to be honest about the band, I don't care if it's an Apple ripoff. I don't, because the Apple design was great. I don't mind another company that I like taking that same design and making it their own. I don't care. I'm sorry, what do you want me to do? I do not care. So as far as the display on here, I think the display is pretty much the brightest display I've ever experienced on a freaking smartwatch. I didn't think that I would care too much about the brightness of the watch face on a smartwatch, but I actually do really care because this thing is super, super bright. And if you turn on the flashlight feature, I mean, it shines very well. You will be well illuminated in the dark time. Look at this. Touch the screen to change the bright. This is very bright. And I don't know if you guys can tell from the video, but this thing is super, super bright. Now let's talk about this battery use. I mean, you got a name like Ultra. That means I need some Ultra features. And one of the main features I need is a bigger, better battery. Now, does this have a better battery? All I did was, hey, when I lay my head down on my pillow at the end of the day, where's my battery at? Okay. And again, that's more of a real world test. You're not going to be using this like you're using your phone. You're going to use this as a watch. You're going to check some times. You're going to check your notifications on here. And that's about it. You're going to go throughout the day and do your thing. Do your workouts, all that good stuff. My normal day to day, I wake up early at the butt crack of dawn. I work out. I'll say I'm working out for about an hour and a half. I take my watch off. I shower, immediately put it back on. And I wake up at like 6:30 in the morning. So my day, this is off the charger at about 6:30 in the morning. And then I go about my day. I finish my day around 6:30-ish. And then I'm doing more content, whatever the case is. Watch is still on, pumping hard, heavy juice. And then I lay my head down about 10:30, 11, maybe sometimes 12. The watch is usually sitting at about 65% when my day is done. So from 6:30 in the morning to about 11 to midnight, I have about 65%. So what does that mean in plain English? In theory, I could go a whole nother day without charging this bad boy. And that actually did happen. I actually forgot to put my watch on the charger one time, and I slept with it, had it on my wrist, and it lasted me a whole nother day. And by the time it was midnight the following day, so just 2 days in, I was at about 15%. So this battery is actually good. And another thing, this action button, that's what we're gonna call it, because that's what it is. The action button, they call it the quick start button. And I programmed it to just start my workout. Basically, I usually start my workouts with a walk. Tap once, start the workout. Tap again to pause or resume the workout, and then hold it to finish the workout. And then it'll give you a prompt if you really want to finish it. But that feature, again, is super useful. And then I think this is overall a good competitor for the Apple Watch Ultra, because you got someone like me who really enjoyed the Apple Watch Ultra. Only thing that turned me off was the price. And now I have something that the price makes sense, and it directly competes with the Apple Watch Ultra. And now, after using this for a week or so, I think looks better than the Apple Watch Ultra. But maybe that's just me. I don't know what to say. Like I said, this thing changed my mind on my perspective on what I was gonna feel about this bad boy. But anyways, so now as far as how this works, the continuity of this with this, I did take a few calls on this. And I was, trying to experience the audio, how loud it was, how clear the sound was. The sound was very clear. I am not blowing smoke when I say the sound was very good. It was clear. It was loud and punchy. It didn't sound like I was missing any kind of audio effects or anything like that. The people on the other end of the phone call, hey, how well do you hear me? And are you hearing me very well? Are your ears open? And they said, hey, we hear you very well. So the phone calls on this sound very good, and it's very loud. With a previous smartwatch that I had, I'm not gonna say which one, Galaxy Watch 6. Sometimes when I would take phone calls on my watch, I would have to hold the watch up to my ear like this to kind of hear them. Did not have to do that with this. Just kept it at normal distance. Yabbity yabbity yap yap, and they yabbity yap back, and then the phone call was great. So I mean, now the last but not least thing about this watch is some new AI features. I guess they're considered AI-ish, but the gestures on here. So I've never been a big gesture kind of fan, but hey, I'm a tech guy. We're gonna check out this stuff. We're gonna test it out. My experience with the gestures that you are able to do, yeah, you can do the knocking and everything, but I'm more so interested in this new pinch motion that you can do with the new Galaxy Watch Ultra, and that you can do with the Galaxy Ring that is out as well. You can play and pause media, which is super huge. Also, if you get notifications on your watch, so if it's something that you can respond to, like an email or a text message, you can double pinch your fingers and it will respond for you. So it'll scroll through your message. So it does scroll. That's another gesture feature. If you double tap, it will scroll through whatever that notification is until you get to an interactive section, whether it be to cancel it, get rid of it, or to respond. But when it comes to like an email or a text message, you can respond to that stuff. Scroll until you get to the part where you can respond. You pinch again, and then it will allow you to leave a not a voice note, but it'll allow you to use your voice to respond to that notification, and it will type everything in text. That is super cool. That's something I didn't think I would use or like or cared for, but I actually like that, and I use it all the time. And also another thing, you can get rid of alarms. You got your alarm going off, maybe you're sleeping with this, you just double pinch, you're laying in your bed, you're snoring, you're counting sheep, you double pinch, beep, the alarm goes off. That is why this thing is like, I'm lost for words. It's so hard to explain how useful this watch is, and for the price. And I urge you guys, if you have a smartwatch that's comparable or close to maybe like a Galaxy Watch 5 or 6, or even, no, you can't trade it in a 7, or an Apple Watch, whatever, trade that in, get you chunks of money off, and get this thing for about 300 bucks. And then even people who I show this watch to, who are used to the standard smartwatches, they are very impressed with this. They had the same opinion as I. They didn't think that they would like it at first, but then they really grew to love the design of it, how cool it looks, the watch faces, the functionality of it, how compatible it is to your smartphone. I mean, to me, it's an all-around winner, and I highly suggest you guys experience this for yourself. Am I overhyping this thing or what? If you have one, which one did you get? Do you have 3 color options that you can get? This is the silver one, but it's not just silver. It's like silver and black. It's like 2-3 toned. You can get the all white one, and you can get the black one as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.